Northwestern University faculty are set to rally this afternoon against the Trump administration's recent fight with higher education. Now, during the 4 p.m. rally in Evanston, the faculty will call on the university's president and board of trustees to defend their students, staff, and instructors. This is part of a bigger national day of action for higher education. The Trump administration has threatened to pause $790 million in federal funds from Northwestern University, in particular, over alleged civil rights violations. But the faculty aren't the only ones speaking out. Joining us now live on the show, Peter Cummings, a PhD student at Northwestern and the chief steward of the Northwestern University Graduate Workers. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm really looking forward to being here and appreciate it.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a busy day with the event later. What message do you want to send here? What are you hoping to really get across?
Yeah, definitely. So, today for our participation in this National Day of Action, we're really trying to work alongside faculty and other workers and organizations at Northwestern to really meet this moment and stand up for workers against this barrage of illegal executive orders and policy changes from this Trump administration, many of which actively threaten everything that we fight and stand for in higher ed. And we stepped up and filled a vacuum left by what we see as Northwestern's wholly inadequate and grossly disheartening response to the Trump administration so far. So we're doing that by bringing in speakers for a 2 p.m. press conference on the steps of Deering Library. We're going to bring in organizations on campus from labor unions representing, among others, the Northwestern University Postdocs Union, or NUPU as they're called, which represents 1,300 postdoctoral researchers and research associates, organizing their own union recognition campaign with our national union. Our organization will be there speaking, of course. We'll also have members of faculty organizing under the University Under Threat moniker, as well as the American Association of University Presidents and a member of the Community Justice and Civil Rights Law Clinic at Northwestern as well. And this has all really been in the works since the beginning of the year, but we've really just since last week, we launched with a general members meeting of 250 plus workers. We actually launched a formal petition asking members to pledge to commit to collective action to enforce our resolve in the form of like an official union platform that covers 4 key areas, one of which is protections for non-citizen workers. Another is preservation of STEM research funding, and a third is the defense of trans rights and lives on Northwestern campus and in our community, and the fourth is the fruition of a diverse, equitable, and inclusive workspace. And we've actually already put into motion a number of actions and rallied our 3,000 member unit of workers at Northwestern in this fight. And we're really looking forward to standing in solidarity with our faculty, student, and other members of the Northwestern community today and throughout the day. So come on out to Evanston and participate in this day of action and support the researchers and educators that are trying to build a better world.
And Peter, quickly, for someone who's watching and they may have heard about some of the funding threats, they might have heard about some of the cuts, what do you want someone watching who may not be as understanding of why this is all happening? What do you want them to know?
In terms of the funding cuts, I mean, really, essentially, like I can even speak from my own personal experience. Like I've been in training for 4 years as a clinical psychologist. I was trained over the last 3 years since I, officially moved through courses to prepare myself for an NIH grant. I submitted a 130-page grant application through what's called the F31 mechanism, but essentially, like it was supposed to be an opportunity to get funding to actually do my own independent research. That research, at its core, was developing an intervention that worked for trans, gender nonconforming, and gender nonbinary folks. And that grant received an excellent score, lots of accommodations, but essentially it's in limbo and it may not actually see the light of day just because it studies sexual and gender minority folks. So people like me and people who are doing research on diverse and historically marginalized folks are seeing the potential to do their research really just fall through their fingertips.
And Peter,
and it's going to create a chilling
off,
effect across the research and education industry.
Thank you for sharing this on this National Day of Action. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll have more top headlines right after the break.